Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Only Single Player Podcast, the official podcast of OnlySP.com. This is episode number 5, and I get the distinct pleasure of being the host. My name is Adam McDermott, and I'm joined by the primary review guy on site, as well as one of the many talented video makers, Randy Fluharty.
Hey, how's it going?
Excellent. And one of the newest additions to the Only SP team, Miss Elle Noonan. She's also going to be making videos as well as contributing to editorials.
Oh, hi! Sorry.
Perfect.
This is my first podcast. I'm so excited.
Yeah, actually, really cool fact for anyone listening. This is not only Elle's first podcast, it is also Randy's.
It is Randy's first podcast, and I know you guys are excited, and I'm excited as well.
Yeah, they're thrilled. Thrilled, Randy. After all these years of waiting, they finally get the podcast version.
You know, I can't keep this voice to myself. Everybody loves the tones, so thought I'd share them.
Exquisite. We got lots to talk about. It's meant to be post-E3 slump, but some cool stuff actually happened in the past week. But first we're going to dive into what we've been all up to in the last 7 days or so. Randy especially has been entrenched up to the eyeballs in Divinity Original Sin. How is it, Randy?
You just want to dive right in. Just start the show with a showstopper.
Yep, that's it. Give people what they want.
So, in case people don't know, it is a Kickstarter-funded game by the makers of the Divinity games. They have made 3 before this, I think. 3, maybe 4. I'm not that familiar with them. It's basically a Baldur's Gate-style computer role-playing game. The difference is that it's turn-based. And I like it. Yeah, there's a question mark there.
Yeah, I was wondering. I like it. Ish.
I liked it a lot for the first... God, I don't even know how long I've been playing. But I liked it a lot in the first town, and then I got to the next town, and I feel like the quality has dipped quite a bit. And specifically, the major hook that I like about it is the combat. And a major problem with the game is that the combat is... Like I said, it's turn-based, and when you click around on the ground, you expend action points that you can't refund. So, if I'm trying to click on a guy to attack him, like, that costs a certain amount of action points. But the problem is that the enemies are so small on screen, you have to click them specifically, and they're animating, so if they move, you might click the ground next to them and move toward them instead of attack. Which,
yes, the same thing happened to me. I did the exact same thing about 20 times. I thought I was just stupid.
No, that doesn't go away. That is the game. You need to get used to that.
Even moving expends action points that you could use to attack?
Yes.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. That would be very frustrating.
And there are countless times where I'm like, okay, this guy's got one more hit left. It's a close battle, but if I swing at it, oh crap, I click next to him and now I'm walking around him. And now I can't tell. Now I'm dead. Start over.
Oh my words. And it's a meaty game. How many weeks you say you're playing it now?
This is the start of my second week right now. I started it last Monday. And yeah, I think another problem with it is that everything just takes so freaking long. You move, like when you're not in combat, you move so slow. You have a fast travel when you unlock waypoints and stuff, but just getting around the map before you find the waypoints, and even when you do, the waypoints aren't where you need to be. Like, moving around in the town, which isn't that big, just takes forever. Like, you can scroll to the map and click where you want to go. A lot of times, I've clicked where I want them to go, have gone to the bathroom and come back, and they're still not there. Like, they're just walking. I feel like they're talking, and they have inside jokes that they say when I'm not there.
Oh, scoundrels.
Just talking about you behind your back.
That's what it is.
Like, there's that guy clicking the ground instead of the enemies again. God.
You're this fucking guy over here.
Yeah.
Overall, though, you say, like, pretty positive on the game so far.
Yeah, so the game does not hold your hand at all. Like, you get quests, and they give you a very vague description of that quest, and you're off to solve that quest on your own. They don't tell you where to go. They don't tell you, it's like, west of the town. No, you look for that quest. At first, I was like, oh, man, that sucks. But then it was kind of refreshing. Because I'm digging through books, and I'm finding information on these guys I need to find. I'm like, oh, well, they're usually over next to the lighthouse, so I have to go to the lighthouse. Where's the lighthouse? And then I find the lighthouse. I'm like, oh, man, he was here. And I'm looking for clues, and it's kind of really interesting. Until I got to the second town, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing anymore. It's so vague that they're like, okay, you need to break this magic barrier to get into this cabin. except that's all you got to go on. And, okay, go find this guy. Alright, this is where the guy normally is, but all he did was leave a note saying, yeah, I was here, but now I'm not, loser! And he's not there anymore. So,
you had, 5 in-game seconds to figure out where he was.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe he left? That's what I'm thinking, maybe he left. I don't know. And I looked it up, and apparently there's supposed to be an item there that gets you where you need to go, but that item is not there for me. And I'm at this spot where I don't know if I'm an idiot for not seeing it, or it's glitched, because I ran into a glitch earlier. There's a few glitches. I don't know if it's glitched right now, or if it's based on my own stupidity. I don't know. It's a problem.
That's the worst, when you can't figure out whether it's a glitch or whether, it's just you, and then you feel bad because you look it up and you're like, I feel like there should be something happening, and they're like, no, you're not talking to the right person, idiot. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was actually a quest that, it was the main quest, that was glitched to the point where I had to do a huge workaround just to progress through it, because the dude that I was talking to was not giving me the dialogue option that I needed to continue the quest.
Oh, good. Love
and
that.
I was apparently the only one having this problem because I looked it up, so yeah, it sucked.
Oh, what a pity. It was Kickstarter. It far surpassed its original goal for its Kickstarter, didn't it?
Yeah, I want to say it got 700,000, or maybe it was asking for 700,000 and it got way more than that. It was a disturbing amount of money.
Wow.
It was right around the time that the Double Fine stuff was going on, so everyone's like, oh, we can do that too.
Yeah. I've never backed anything on Kickstarter.
Really?
Have
Never?
either of you? Never. Have you?
Yeah, I remember a few years ago, it's kind of embarrassing to admit now, but I was really into this comic called Homestuck, and they were making a video game out of it, and the guy wanted I don't know, a reasonable amount of money, and he got funded within 2 days of putting it up. And the game still hasn't been made, and this was several years ago. So now I'm like, I don't even want this game when it comes out. Don't even give it to me.
You're not getting it.
Don't. I know.
That guy's
really
in Vegas
sad.
right now.
Yeah, just blowing it all.
Yeah.
Wait, did you ever back anything, Randy?
I have backed Double Fine Adventure. That might be it.
I've never done it. I've heard so many horror stories from Kickstarter of people just not filling out their obligations and kind of ducking and dodging, especially the early days when it was still a little bit new and people were definitely scamming the system.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm skeptical every time I see a Kickstarter, but I trust Double Fine. They've put out games before, they know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
So and at that point they were up to $2 million by the time I backed it, so okay, they've got enough money. I just want the game at this point, so I'm just buying it.
And Tim Schafer is way too lovely to ever scam people.
He's a big teddy bear.
He's a big teddy bear. Do you ever see that thing, what's it called? Something Fortnite. Double Fine Fortnite or something like that?
Amnesia Fortnite.
That's it. Where they drop every project they're doing and they send all the groups off. All the people have pitch ideas for games they want to do in just 2 weeks. And then the 5 best ideas get their own teams and get to make a game in just 2 weeks as a refresher, and those games go live to people to watch it, to play them.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's genius. It gives Joe Tester a chance to shine if he has a good idea, it's if a guy that's a sound guy, he wants to lead his own project, but he never gets the chance. Well, this gives him the chance. Give us a pitch, and if it's good, we'll make it. It's a great idea.
Yeah, they got, I think it is 2-Player Productions did the documentary on it, and it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And they would go up every single day, and documentary go up, and people could watch it and say, okay, yeah, I can see the progress we made in this. I'll do this and I'll do that. The documentary series is so good in it that I watched it from 3 years ago to now, just because it was so interesting. The games were already out, but I wanted to see the process of making it in such a detailed manner.
Yeah, they have a documentary for the 2-Player Productions. People have one for the, what is it called, Broken Age. Oh yeah, they've got one for Minecraft too, but they also have one for Broken Age, and it's really well done. It's super fascinating. If you have to be a backer to get it though, so it's another reason why I backed him. It's I wanna watch this.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I love all those things where, do you know when you get a game and it says behind the scenes documentary? Naughty Dog are really good for it, where they'll give you, you can see how a level was created or this and that. And I think it was God of War 3 had an actual 45-minute documentary about the entire making of the game. Oh, I love those things.
Yeah, The Last of Us had one. The Last of Us is great if you ever have a chance to get it. Yeah.
Solid. It's a solid game, I heard. You know, sixes and sevens.
It's all right.
Good overall. It's
all
good,
right.
all right. Does the job.
It's not bad. It's a niche thing, you know.
Yeah, I think it might have gotten a mention at the latest E3 or something. They're doing a remastered version. I don't know why. Who's going to buy that?
Yeah, no one bought that piece of crap. See, now it turned from an alright game to a piece of crap the further the joke goes on. It sucks. I don't even know why. But yeah, to recap about Divinity, I still in the like my little needle is still over on the like side of the thing. I still like it. I'm getting less warm on it the further it goes along. And I think the combat, when it works, when you're not clicking the ground instead of the enemies, it's awesome. Like, the environmental stuff is great. I like that it's turn-based because it's way more strategic than... in Baldur's Gate, when you're just like, oh, I'm just watching this battle happen. I don't like that, so... I mean, Dragon Age is somewhat the same, but not really.
Yeah. I was going to say, anything reminiscent of Baldur's Gate has to have something good about it, you know?
Yeah. And I guess the problem, I have a major issue with dice rolls, too. And I'm playing the game on hard, so when I'm like, I've got a 95% chance to hit this guy, and then I miss, it's the worst feeling in the world.
That happened to me in XCOM.
Oh, yeah.
99% on impossible mode, and he missed.
XCOM's the same exact thing. It sucks because you're like, well, I'm smart. At least I feel smart. I'm probably not smart, let's be real. But I feel smart. I feel like I should be able to figure these aliens out. Like, this is America. These aliens don't know. These aliens don't know anything. But yet, because my dudes can't aim, I look like an idiot.
It works and it doesn't. It works when there's kind of, when it's 60-70%, you think you've done just enough, or you get a little bit lucky. But it absolutely kills me when you do everything right in your turn, except the final shot, which is up to chance.
Yep.
But more often than not, it's grand. Every now and again it becomes a little frustrating, but it does balance out in the fact that every now and again you get really lucky.
I wish there were a way to make one of those games without relying so heavily on dice rolls. Like, I mean, I guess there is, but I don't know what it is about dice rolls, or why people use them so often, because it really sucks when you're doing everything right, but the only reason you lost is because the game decided you were going to lose. That's another thing. It's not real dice rolls. It's the game knows what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Which is another thing about Divinity. I need to talk about this because it's ridiculous. You know how in RPGs like that, you have a charisma stat that you can persuade NPCs to do what you want them to do with a certain dialogue option, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the higher your charisma is, like, the easier it is to make them do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, in this, when you have an extra dialogue option, it opens up a rock, paper, scissors. It is actually called rock, paper, scissors in the game. The tutorial pops up and says, you're about to play rock, paper, scissors, baby. It doesn't say baby.
So I was going to wonder, does it say baby?
But you click rock, paper, or scissors, and then the NPC picks rock, paper, or scissors. But the thing is, it's a game that knows what you're choosing. So if the game wants you to lose, it can make you lose if it wants to. The only thing the charisma does is each time you win rock, paper, scissors, you get a certain number of points. The first person to 10 points wins the argument. And the more charisma you have, the more points you get per win of rock, paper, scissors. But I've had a thing where I can get all 10 points in one win of rock, paper, scissors, and I still lose because rock, paper, scissors is luck. So my charisma stat is wasted. And it's real stupid. It's designed for co-op, so if two people are trying to make the same decision, then they'll play rock, paper, scissors to see who wins. But it doesn't work when you're playing against the computer. It just doesn't. Because I lose even though my charisma stat is through the roof.
Yeah, it has some things going for it, but certain things need to be fixed. We'll definitely be looking out for your full review. Do you have any idea when you'll be finished it? Next
about
week or
a year,
so, maybe?
A year. Probably a year from now.
A year and a half. Maybe in time for the sequel.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get
it out. It takes practice. It takes time and love to pour into this atrocity. You need to properly prepare.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get it out by early next week, because I'm getting kind of, I'm getting ready to be done with this thing, so I might just drop the difficulty down and power through it.
Yeah, when you said I'm playing the game on hard, I just thought, Randy, are you asking for punishment?
That's the way you play those games, man.
Oh, fair enough. Elle, what have you been up to in the last week?
Oh, okay. So actually last night I finished up The Wolf Among Us. They just released episode 5 and I had no idea until I was on my computer and I saw like a gif of it and I was like, "Wait, I haven't seen this. Oh my god." And I had to like run over and play the shit out of it. And, oh my god, it was so
Did you go through it all just one sitting? Bought it that evening, done?
Oh, no. I bought the first 2 episodes like earlier in the year, like maybe the end of last year. And then they've just been coming out slowly. But I had like a break where I wasn't playing it for a while because I was playing The Walking Dead Season 2. And
yes.
They just came out with the last, I guess, like 2 episodes came out while I wasn't paying attention. And then this one, the last one, Cry Wolf, just came out. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to fucking waste any time on this. So I remember I ran in and I was playing it and I played it all in one sitting. And yeah, it was great. And of course, the ending is such a fucking like cliffhanger. I was like, oh, you don't even know what's going to happen in the next season. I didn't even know there was going to be a next season. And now I have to go after this. Like,
spoilers, there will be a season 2.
Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, it's going to be ridiculous.
Maybe it's one of those leave it up to the audience's imagination sort of thing.
I would actually kill someone because it's that non-open-ended. It's like, you think it is going to be, and then it isn't. And you're just like, are you serious right now? Like, I can't do this. Come on, don't do this to me. Snow didn't even give me a blowjob yet. I need this to happen. Like, oh god.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but it sounds great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is that part of the game?
No. Sorry.
I was loading that game up right now after you said that. I'm like, all right, I need to get in on this.
I was already downloading off Steam.
I took a second to say, is this appropriate for a podcast? And then I was like, I don't care. It's how I feel. I just start crying.
Yeah. Okay, so now you've finished the entire season of Wolf Among Us. How do you feel about the thing as a whole?
Okay, I think... Well, first of all, I was playing it on PS3. And if you've played The Walking Dead, I think it's very similar in that if you're not playing it on PC, it's really a lot harder. Like, the whole layout is that the right camera is basically like the cursor. I mean, the right analog stick is the cursor. But if you're not playing it on a computer, that's not the mouse. So it's very like, where's my cursor? And then in like tense action scenes, it gets really hard to pick the right button over the right thing at the right time because you're just wildly trying to put the cursor over things. And it's like, if you had a mouse, it would be so much easier and it would flow a lot better. But it's kind of clunky on a system, I'm finding. And that kind of sucks because it's basically built on the atmosphere and on the pace that it's being set on. So it's very hard when you're like running around you have this great scene going where like you're flying, you're running around, you're jumping over cars, and then all of a sudden you have to like land the cursor directly on someone you're trying to like hit out of the air, and you have, maybe like a second and a half to do it, but your cursor is on the far left side of the screen because that's where it was when you were fighting the last boss. So then of course you just like smash into them and fall down, and it's like, oh, okay. Like,
so would you say that the action scenes are better than I love Walking Dead Season 1, but the action scenes were atrocious.
Oh my god. They were so hard. Like,
yeah, so
and it really breaks
would you say
the
they're
pace
better
in that way. I would say that because The Walking Dead is more of like a suspense horror kind of game, the action is more like, it's inventive. There are cool ways that they implement it, but the Wolf Among Us allows for a lot more kind of like really like candid action scenes. Like there's actual jumping on top of buildings, running really fast because you're a werewolf. You can do whatever you want. Like, you get to rip people's throats out and stuff like that. So it's very organic. And I think it's a lot more kind of inventive that way because they have a lot more to work with. But at the same time, if you're not playing it on Steam or on a PC, then it's very, very difficult to get it right. And you'll have a lot of awkward, like, half-death sequences where you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it always breaks the immersion whenever I die in those games because they're so story-focused. And you're making choices that alter the story so much, and when you die, they just rewind it a few seconds. They're like, no, try that again. It's really weird.
And then you find yourself like talking along with it.
Exactly. You missed that button at that exact point. Just do it again. Do it again. It's fine. It's almost as if they'd prefer if you could never actually die, but they want to give you this false sense of tension.
Yeah. It's just, it feels like cheating to me, and I don't like it. Although I found I died a lot more in The Walking Dead than I did in The Wolf Among Us because I think the pace of the The Walking Dead. I keep getting them confused because they both start with the W, so I keep being like, oh, fuck. But The Walking Dead, I think the atmosphere is more like, hey, you could die at any second because you're a human and this is the apocalypse. But in The Wolf Among Us, it's more like, well, you know, you're a fable, you can walk it off, whatever. So a lot of times where I think I would have died in The Wolf Among Us, I didn't, just because I'm, you know, OP and I can do whatever I want and I'm Big B. But in The Walking Dead, there's so many scenes where you're like, I'm pressing the button, I'm pressing it, and then you die. And you're like, did you? And I look over and I'm like, did you see me pressing that? Did you see me press it? Because I did. I was very into pressing this.
And there's no one there. You're just talking to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking to my cat. I'm like, did you see that, Garrus? I did it.
You named your cat Garrus?
Garrus Vicarian.
That's great.
Aw, thank you. He's a little shit, but I love him.
So between the two, The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, which do you prefer?
Oh, God. Don't make me choose.
We're making you right here.
Oh, no. I guess I would say that I enjoyed The Walking Dead a little bit more, just because that's kind of my style. I really like more of a horror setting than like an action fantasy setting. But, I mean, I wouldn't, you know, ever put down The Wolf Among Us in comparison, but I think I enjoy more of like the heavy atmosphere and the character development a little bit more in those kind of dire situations than I do in just kind of like, I'm the sheriff and everybody shouldn't be scared of me because I'm a good cop. Like that, after a while, it's kind of like, yeah, we know you're a good cop. And you get kind of tired of everybody saying the same thing over and over again. Like, you're a bad person because 30 years ago you bit someone's head off and I hate you. And it's like, okay, I know, we covered this like 20 years ago.
People hold grudges.
I always try to play Paragon anyway, so I'm like, I'm not a bad guy. Remember that one time when I let that lady live and I gave her money? And everyone's like, shut up, Bigby. And I'm like, okay.
I could never get into The Walking Dead or The Wolf Among Us. I played both episode 1s, and I got to the point where I would prefer if I didn't actually have to play. I would prefer if it would literally just on rails and just took care of all the interactions. I just got to choose the dialogue. I wouldn't have to move my character. I wouldn't have to do anything. I'd prefer to actually watch someone play it than actually play it myself.
Aww,
could not disagree more.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the first episodes, but they get so good. At least The Walking Dead season 1 is the only one I played. But
oh yeah, once you get to episode 2, it's like, holy shit, my life is a lie. Oh my god. Like,
I don't think it would be the same if I was watching choices be made for me. Like, I make those, not a lot changes, but at the same time, enough changes to where I feel like I'm having an impact on the story. And I feel like if you take that out, then you lose a whole lot.
No, that part I like. Choosing, I like. The moving the character, I didn't like. And the tension scenes, I didn't like either.
So you wish you were watching a movie, and then like a multiple choice question would come up, and you'd be like,
I push
kill
A,
this
B,
guy.
C, or D. Yeah, I push A, B, C, or D.
Yeah, there's something to that, maybe. I might be with you.
It is, I would like to go back to it, though, because I think it's one of those... That and The Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us are kind of things you have to play because they're worth your time.
And they're not long. Like, they're not... Each episode's probably about 2 hours. You could bang through them.
I might go back.
And it's also the kind of thing where, like, it's one of the only games I've ever played where I, like, will be laying in bed and I'm like, should I have done that? I don't know. I don't feel like I shouldn't have done that. Like, I should have done the other thing. But, like in real life, I could have, done something and been like, I don't even think about it. But in, like, The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us, it's like, I should have saved the other guy. Shit. Like...
Meanwhile, in real life, you've pushed over old people and stolen stuff off shops.
Yeah, but I don't regret that.
You don't care about those old people. You care about these characters. You care about
because
Carly.
They're my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and then you think at the time, you're like, oh, I really have to pay a lot of attention to this decision, and then, like, you do a lot for a character, and they could die, and you'd be like, but I put so much effort into you. And then other things, it's like, oh, yeah, do I want, peanut butter and jelly or a turkey sandwich, whatever. And you just pick one, and then 6 episodes, or, like, 3 episodes later, it's like, remember that time you had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I'm gonna kill you for that. And you're like, what?
Did you guys,
last peanut butter.
Did you guys play Fire Emblem Awakening?
Yes.
Yeah, so, like, I had a similar feeling to that, only it was in a different way, because I'm like, I leveled up these characters. I'm attached to these characters because they're good in battle. I don't want them to die. If they die, they're gone forever.
Yeah. They actually die. Even if you level them up, you can be part of your party, and they can still die, and it's permadeath.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the difficulty level. Like, if you're playing on casual mode, they don't die, but if you're playing on, like, the traditional one, then they die.
You're playing it wrong if you're playing on casual mode.
I like
Casual mode.
Oh,
I like
whatever.
having people live.
The battles are way more tense when you think your characters can die. And then
Oh, absolutely.
it's what's even worse is that they have little personalities and you can make them have relationships and children and everything. So
You can have children.
yeah, they can get married and have children. Like I played a lady, my main character married the other main character and they had a child. And if any of them died, I'd be heartbroken. I'm like, well, now their family is broken.
Yeah.
And plus, she did really good magic spells. And now it's gone.
I need my
I like
grandmaster
that.
alive.
Yeah.
But,
That is really cool.
Yeah, it's sad because you get married and you have your party members marry each other and then they have kids that can join the party. Actually, like you get to have their kids in the party, and it's just like, oh no, Maribel, I don't want your son to die. Like, but he's so bad.
Yeah, that's true. Some of the characters are actually horrible, but you don't want them to die because of their personalities.
You just have to reclass everyone.
That's too much work. I just
Get the
kill
master seals. Get them all set up.
I make new friends at that point.
I work alone.
Yeah. Have you played anything else, Elle?
Yeah, actually, I was just finishing up Bioshock Infinite, which I had gotten like to the end of, and then I was moving, so I didn't play it for a while. And then I got back to LA, which is where I live now, and I was like, I should probably play this again. But my friend was like, oh, let's play it together, so we started over, and I'm realizing everything in my life is a lie again, all over again, so it's good.
Oh,
And
so you've completed it already? You've completed it already?
No, I got like right to the end, and then I didn't beat it. I know, it's awful.
Okay, Adam, have you beat it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at some point we need to have a conversation about the ending. Because
Yes, for sure. Actually, Elle, when you finish it, let us know. We'll definitely want to discuss the ending.
we should
with
just
you.
do like a separate podcast about it. Granted, it's probably too late for that at that point, but
Let's do a spoiler cast. That'd be
a
really
spoiler
popular.
cast on a game that came out a year and a half
A
ago.
year and a half ago, yeah. That'd be really popular.
I just plug my ears. I'm like, la 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 la. Go ahead, la la la.
No, because
That's fine. No, we can't even say anything.
yeah, I'm trying to word it carefully.
No, don't even
Yeah, all right,
bother.
I'll just leave it.
Elle, anything else you've been playing?
Okay, so I was playing Fire Emblem Awakening. That was another one that I was doing. So, but you already got me there. Have either of you guys played Tomodachi Life? Because I haven't,
No.
and I have no idea what's going on with that.
Apparently it's that you can't have gay characters, or you can have gay characters. Hang on, let me double check.
Yes,
I think
it
one
is.
of the two.
Can't.
The major controversy came when Nintendo said that we did that so we weren't making a political statement or something along those lines.
What?
And everyone's-
they actually they mentioned it. That was the issue. If
Yeah.
they'd said nothing,
If they said
nobody would have
nothing,
cared.
yeah, it's the fact that someone's like, why can't you have a gay character? And then they're like, oh, well, we don't want to take political sides. That's when everyone's like, whoa.
Oh, what was the other game that they said we have a real gay party member?
Dragon Age Inquisition
That's
just can't.
it, yeah.
Why is that news?
Oh, they have,
It's so
they have an
dumb.
exclusively gay character?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah, that was the thing. Normally your character can they're all neutral. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this one only likes other dudes.
And I know in
Why-
the first Dragon Age, there were 2 characters that were bisexual and 2 characters that were heterosexual.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, everybody was bisexual, and it was kind of like, huh, this is kind of like, I don't care, you know. I love the idea that you can romance anyone, but at the same time, like in the first one, it lent a certain amount of like actually being kind of like within a character's reach, you know, because if every character is just like, oh, I don't care, I'll go out with anyone, it's kind of like, well, yeah, I understand that you want to be more inclusive, but sometimes it's not within like the characters, like how they would probably really act. So I appreciate that they're going back to that in Inquisition, that they're having it be like, you know, it's not really in this character's nature to do that. So I think that's really cool.
I just wish it wasn't news. It's a gay character,
Yeah.
big freaking deal.
That's kind of true.
Yeah, that was a strange thing because they just did this. Yeah, their quote was "fully gay."
Yeah, that is. that's-
Why the fully?
He's not a little gay. He doesn't inspect guys, but still, you know, leans towards the ladies. No.
This guy's 100% all
This man
about the
takes it,
dudes.
you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I don't know. It became a big deal for no reason. Yeah. So wait, who have any? None of us playing Tamagotchi.
No.
Tamagotchi.
Tamagotchi.
I heard it's a bad game.
Tamagotchi, but not Tamagotchi.
I remember Tamagotchi. I heard Tamagotchi is a bad game.
It seems bad in an entertaining way.
It's like a poor man's Animal Crossing, apparently. And Animal Crossing is already kind of a niche, so it's like, kid.
But the thing about Animal Crossing is that you're actually doing stuff. In Tamagotchi, you're just kind of clicking around on menus.
That's
from what I've seen. So,
yeah.
But it looks entertaining. So I watched some video on it, and you can make your character talk with. You can make your character say its name. It has like a robotic voice. It's like, "Hi, my name is Rindy." Like, it's hilarious, and that sounds great. But the problem is that the game doesn't seem that great.
But is it like $40 hilarious? That's what I want to know. You know,
I don't think anything is $40 hilarious.
Yeah.
Actually, I've got to take back. It's not a bad game. It's averaging 7s out of 10s, so it's a good game.
Now, well, on the normal scale,
that is a good game.
Nope. Most people review from 7 to 10. Yeah. So that's a 0 basically.
I know if you give a character like their favorite food, they'll break dance apparently, which is kind of funny. Wow. But like, I don't think I would want to pay $35 or $40 to watch my character like do a flip when they eat a salad. Like, I don't know. It seems kind of stupid to me.
I would pay maybe $29.95 to watch my character flip to eat a salad.
Oh, that's a good deal.
1 penny more.
They can hook you up with that.
So it reminds me of the old days when weird Japanese games would come out. Because this is a weird Japanese game. You remember like weird Japanese games?
Oh,
they don't come out as much anymore. Like Mr. Mosquito and
oh my god, that game.
Weird stuff.
Fucking
we don't get those really anymore. And it's like this is the first time one of those had come out, which is why I'm more interested in it than I would have otherwise. Because normally I'd just be like, I'll just play a different weird game that's actually fun to play. But they haven't come out with one of those in a long time, and this has got the right amount of Japanese weirdness where I might be like, someday I might actually pick this up just to check it out.
Do you want to hear some titles of some of the strangest Japanese games ever released?
Yes.
Yes,
I do.
Absolutely.
Hateful Boyfriend.
Oh my god.
Pigeon dating simulator.
I played that game. I'm not gonna lie. It's literally just dating pigeons. They're not even drawn like people. They're just pigeons. Literally, they're just photographs of pigeons. No, because it was a huge phenomenon at the time, and I was like, okay, I just for the sake of the fucking weirdness of it, I want to play it. And I got through 5 minutes of it, and I was like, they weren't fucking around. These are all pigeons. That's all this is.
Weren't?
They don't even.
If there's no pigeon boning in it, then I'm out.
Yeah.
There's oh god.
Yeah, it's a strange game. Then there's Mr. Mosquito, where you play the role of a mosquito and you just gotta land on people and suck blood.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's a game.
The dubbing is so bad. I've played that game too. The dubbing is the worst I've ever heard. There's one where you have to. There's a girl in a bathtub, and she's you have to bite her on the boob, and every time that she sees you, she goes, "Shower attack!" and she splashes you, and it's the most ridiculous game in the world.
It's fantastic.
So
it's amazing.
Oh my word. Then there's a game called Seaman.
Yep,
oh my god.
No.
That's a Dreamcast game.
Yeah. Isn't that
Seaman.
Leonard Nimoy? Is he the voice of it?
Oh, I don't know about that.
I think he's the announcer.
You're a lizard with the man's face.
Oh, it's so creepy.
It's a fish. Yeah,
I remember that
and
game.
you get a microphone that comes with that, and you talk to him. You talk to your Seaman.
And he's so fucking, rude. Everything you say, he's like, oh, that's nice. And you're like, really? Come on, Seaman. I'm just trying to be your friend. And he's like, I don't need you as my friend. And he just, swims off. And you're like, okay. Thanks, Seaman. Good talk, Seaman.
Yeah, oh my word. And then the final one is Japan World Cup 3. Which is the one you probably saw clips of where it's like horse racing, but you can get anybody to race anything. You can get a Yeti, the Horse of Troy, an extended massive horse. There's just absolute hilarity. We do need more strange Japanese games for sure. Yeah. Oh my word, they're so funny.
Just the wackiness of it is almost too much.
Yeah. Anything else, Elle? My word, you've had quite the week.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty insane. I've been playing mostly those are the new games that I've been playing mostly. Otherwise, I've just been going back to old stuff Majora's Mask and Okami and Silent Hill 2.
Okay. At some point we're going to have a Majora's Mask conversation. Today's
Can
not
we?
that day.
Because it's my favorite game in the world, probably.
Right. That's why we're gonna have that conversation, because you're wrong.
Oh my god. Yeah, I am not
Whoa.
even wrong at all. Like, I'm working on my Majora's Mask review, and the disclaimer is, I know I'm probably the only person that thinks this is the best game, but whatever.
I'm gonna.
There you go.
At some point, I'll jump back in to get a refresher on that game, and we will throw down.
Oh, it's so good. My heart.
But there are people who do believe Majora's Mask is the best of the lot.
That I'm
They're
one
wrong.
of those people, so
They're
let's
incorrect.
not.
Maybe
They're
you're
not
incorrect,
incorrect.
Randy.
Actually, you're incorrect. In every way. No, I'm kidding.
All right, we'll
But
see.
Majora's Mask does have a very dark undertone to it.
Yeah, it's like the weird twisted doppelganger of Ocarina of Time, and I think that was on purpose. Like, the symbolism in it, you think like, oh, they just reused all the sprites, you know, like whatever, it's just a crappy hashed out remake, but it's not at all. The whole point is that like everybody is like the twisted mirror image of their old selves, and I think that's so cool and so smart.
Yeah.
And I love
It's a good idea with poor execution.
Your mom is, no, I'm kidding, sorry.
Nah, my mom's gonna listen to this too.
Cross.
She's calling you out.
I love you,
Crossing the line
Randy's
there.
mom.
Nah, that's all right. Mom jokes are fine. I'm fine with a good mom joke.
Good mom joke. How about how good your mom is?
I
Good
can't
mom joke
wait
is the name of
for
my new
this.
band.
Yeah.
Really?
Come see us. No.
I can't wait
That'd
for
be
the
good.
3D re-release of Majora's Mask, though. I'm gonna buy it the second it comes out. Literally.
You won't be the only one. A lot of people
I hope
jump on
so.
it.
The other 5 people, and I will all buy it.
I'll buy it too,
Yeah.
just so I can yell at those other 5 people.
You
So
bastards!
experience it. Be like, all right, here's why you're wrong.
Alright. You said you're playing Silent Hill 2?
Love that
Oh
game.
yeah, it's a good game.
Wow. That is, that's a pretty darn good game. I think that was the first Silent Hill I played. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, me too. And then I played the first one, and I was like, I don't see why people like this.
Yeah. How did this ever get a sequel?
Yeah.
Well, when you're 9, you think it's awesome.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Because that was the first M-rated game I ever bought. I was 9 years old. I walked up there. They shouldn't have let me buy this game, but here we are. I still have my copy.
Really?
I think that's the strange thing with the ratings is that for games they're kind of recommended. With films they're almost law.
Yeah, not
Whereas
anymore.
this stuff is like,
Not
oh really?
anymore.
They changed it, did they?
Oh yeah, they're real strict on it now. I never used to get carded for anything. Now I only get carded for games.
For games?
For games.
Yeah.
Good grief.
Trying
That's
to buy
terrible.
Halo, and they're like, "What are you doing?"
Hey, listen, alright? Go over there and buy some of, we got dropped again.
Yeah, none of the other Silent Hills really like.
Oh,
ever,
what was the third thing? Oh no,
scratched
sorry,
the
Randy.
itch
That
the
was Elle
same
this
way
time.
that
Elle got
2
dropped this
did.
time.
Skype sucks.
Skype is so unreliable.
Yeah,
Oh no!
Jay.
Did you
Oh,
guys cut out?
that was
Did
you this
everybody
time.
cut out?
No,
It was me.
I'll take.
Yep.
Yeah,
No one
Oh,
is
I
safe.
fucked
Taking it-
up. Somehow.
yeah.
That's all right.
We're all taking it in turns. Next will be my turn.
Maybe we'll switch to Google Hangouts.
Oh yeah. What was the other thing you said, Elle? You were playing
Okami.
Oh,
Okami.
Okami.
Yes, that game I've started and tried to finish twice, and twice I've gotten. Do you know the part in the game where you're about, I don't know, 10, 15 hours in, and it feels like, oh, here's the big push, and you fight this giant oversized creature, and you defeat it, and it restores the land, but then a part of it flies off someplace else.
yeah, that happens a lot. You're like,
Is
oh,
it-
I'm done. No, I'm not at all. I'm not.
Yeah,
even
I'm
close
just
to
getting
done.
started.
I got to the part where you had to pause the game to open paintbrush mode, and then I'm like, "This is dumb."
That's
Oh,
the
Randy.
beginning. Of the game. That's
You're so-
just the beginning.
Yeah,
Randy, that's the
I-
beauty of the game.
I played it longer than that. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know, something about it.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's
Yeah.
probably not for everyone.
But twice I've played it, probably a 20 plus hours. I once on the PS2 and once on the PS3 and on the HD version. And it's like I've never gotten past. It's kind of when you find the ship that's like off the shore
Oh
and
yeah.
you're exploring all around that area. I've just never gotten past the ship. When you go inside, I've never gotten past that area.
I just love
some reason.
I love the flow of that game. I think it is one of. I mean, aside from like stopping the gameplay to draw and stuff, I think that the flow of it and the soundtrack and the atmosphere, it's just like blends together so well. And I'm like the
Yeah.
kind of person who, like, if the soundtrack is really good in a game, then I can get into it, even if the game is not my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
you can't just say, oh, aside for this part that you do every 5 seconds, like it is a main part of the game. It breaks up the flow. You can't just shove that aside and be like, oh, the flow is great.
Well,
painting.
I'm not saying that that's a part that I hate. It's a part that I think is a little distracting, but not enough so that I would be like, oh, I can't do this. Like, if I had to make one comment, that's what it would be. But it's not, like, enough of a deal breaker for me where I wouldn't play the rest of the game.
It's got so many good points. One of my favourite things to do in it is just literally run and get out to a certain speed when you got these big flowers coming behind your toes.
Yeah, it looks
Just
great.
keep going.
It looks great. I will say that.
It's
Even on a
magnificent.
PS2, it looked beautiful.
Yeah, as in, I don't understand. They said Okami HD. I was thinking, you don't need to HD it. It's fine. It's grand. It's not one of those games that needs a HD version. Just re-release it as it is. We don't mind.
Make it cheaper that way.
Pretty.
Yeah, magnificent. Yeah, that's a game I hope to won't go back and finish. I still think I have it downloaded, but hopefully one day.
I hope you do, like, 'cause it's wonderful.
On the PlayStation, when you go over the icon for Okami, you've got it installed on your hard drive. The song that starts playing and the way it overtakes your entire desktop, and this bright, colourful. I just sometimes let it sit in that when I'm doing other things. It's great.
That's good, but sometimes it's also annoying, depending on the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Madden. Good God, that is the most annoying game. It's just that like that American NFL.
Yes.
Just starts blaring every time you roll over it. That's pretty bad.
I have
So,
this
Adam,
game
what have you been
called,
up to?
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
No,
go ahead.
it's okay. I was just
No,
gonna say that I have Space Channel 5, and every time that you scroll over, it just immediately this really loud like da 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 da, and you're like, oh god.
Michael
like, I hope
Jackson was in
nobody's
Space Channel
sleeping.
5 too.
He was. Yes, he's Space Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
good
good.
stuff.
I'm so sorry. What were you gonna say?
That's all right. I was just going to lead the conversation to what Adam's been doing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh my words. I have been doing one thing and one thing only for the past ever.
Drinking.
Besides that, in my downtime from consuming copious amounts of alcohol, I've been platinuming The Last of Us.
All right.
And I haven't done it yet. It's okay. So Last of Us is a magnificent game, hands down. One of the best, I think. One of those landmark games. And I decided that, you know what, I want to play some more and I'm going to platinum it. And I'd played through it on normal and I was playing through on Survivor anyway, and I decided to go for the platinum. So I finished Survivor, so my second playthrough. And then I looked at what I got to get and how I'm going to do it. So one of the trophies finished on Survivor Plus, grand. And then pick up collectibles and upgrades along your way. And then open shiv doors. So I do try and do that all on Survivor Plus. Unfortunately, on Survivor Plus, supplies are limited. So I didn't have enough supplies to actually make enough shivs to open all the doors. It's like, fuck, now I gotta go back and play it again on easy to open all the doors. And some of the collectibles are behind the shiv doors, so I gotta do... Okay, grand, fine, that's fine. Okay, so I'll go back and play it on easy. Anyway, so I fourth play through the game, going through on easy, open all the shiv doors, upgrade Joel to the max, get all the collectibles. However, I have not collected enough parts to upgrade all the weapons.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So I had to go and replay it through the campaign for a fifth time.
So how long is the campaign when you know what you're doing and you skip all the cutscenes?
I got through it on easy in 7 hours.
That's kind of a long time.
Yeah, and here's the thing, the way The Last of Us works, the one weapon I have to upgrade that is left is the El Diablo, which is the pistol with the scope.
Okay.
And you don't get that until halfway into the game. Tommy's Dam.
Yeah.
So I have to play back through up to there, and then I get the weapon, then I gotta play past that chapter and get to the next workbench, and then I can upgrade. I actually added up all the save files, because when I complete the game and it says New Game Plus, I do a new save file. I am 49 hours of single player into The Last of Us.
Oh my god.
Only SP, baby.
And that is the single player. The multiplayer, have either of you attempted to get the trophies for multiplayer on The Last of Us?
What's that? What, multiplayer?
It's this crazy thing where you play with other humans. Madness.
Where do you think you are right now? What site do you think this is? No, I'm kidding.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm going to mention it briefly because it's just you have to... The way you get the multiplayer trophies, if you got to play... you got to play through 2 journeys. One is a hunter, one is a firefly. And each of them is... You got to go through 12 weeks. One match is 1 day, so 84. You got to go through 160 matches for just 2 trophies.
That's more than one.
Yeah, that is more than one. And that takes fucking ever. I'd say about 30-40 hours. It's like, this is I've gotten more than my value worth for The Last of Us. And here's the mad thing, the crazy thing. After all this, after all the excessive amount of hours put into The Last of Us, I still really like it.
Yeah. It's a great game.
That's a sign of a good game, definitely.
In spite of itself, it has issues.
In spite of its dickish trophies, I still like it.
Even without the dickish trophies, I think that campaign has some issues. Not the story. I think the story is great. But the gameplay itself, the design of some of those encounters is poor.
Which ones?
Couldn't tell you offhand. I haven't played it since it came. When did it come out? A year ago?
Yeah. Maybe a little more.
There were, granted I played it on hard, which I do. That's what I do. Don't judge me. But there were times where I'm just like, okay, there's no way that guy saw me, but he saw me. Oh, that guy should have seen me, but he didn't see me. Like, there are just... And especially the layout of... There was one... Okay. There's a scene where it's right after... I'm not going to spoil it. But there's a part where Ellie... You leave Ellie back, and she is covering you, and you have to clear out all the guys. That part was a nightmare. Like, it was super frustrating.
Difficult. It's quite difficult. However, because I've played so many times, there is a way you can go through that section without alerting anybody and kill them all.
Oh, I'm sure there is. And in fact, I probably did after the third or fourth time I tried it, but those few times where I'm just like, there's no way he saw me. There's just not. And since all these guys, there were so many of them, and since they're all either perched up in the second floor building or whatever, there's very, very few spots where you can get by unseen.
If you got to take them all out one by one.
Yeah.
And there is a way to do it without getting spotted. It's not easy, but it's doable.
Yeah, I have, like, no patience at all. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm running in there, like, shooting my gun off in the air. Like what? Why do you see me? Nah.
Yeah. It's meant to be a survival game, Randy.
Survival is boring. Murder.
You want to just go pew pew?
Murder.
Should we try the next Call of Duty? You might be right at home.
No.
No.
No. No, it's still a wonderful game.
It is,
Did you play it
agree.
yourself, Elle?
Yes, actually, I did. I did not beat it, though. I'm thinking of playing it again, because it was the same kind of thing. I got it, Neil Druckmann recommended it, obviously, and I was like, oh, okay. And I started playing it, and it was just, I was not prepared for how much combat there was going to be in it. I don't know why I wasn't prepared,
Too much.
but I wasn't. Yeah, and I was like, I'm not good, and I'm playing everything on PS3, so I was kind of like, this is hard. Well, I mean, obviously it's on PS3, but you know what I mean? Like, I was not prepared for how hard it is, and I think I just got frustrated, and I stopped, and now I have to start over, because it's just like, I won't remember what was going on.
Yeah, it's not an easy... I played it my first time on normal, and there were a few scenes like the one you mentioned, Randy, where it takes a while to get through them, and you kind of got to go, I'm going to have to rethink everything, because this is not working.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a chase scene early on that I just literally could not figure out what to do. I thought they were guiding me in the right direction, but no. I just kept getting eaten.
I thought it was like, I was like, oh, this is so hard. I shouldn't blame myself. I shouldn't get down on myself for not being able to do this and getting frustrated. And I was talking about it with Simon, and he was like, yeah, my kids have beaten it a few times. And I was like, I have no excuse. Dear God. Like,
He lets his kids play that horrible game, horrible in terms of violence and darkness, and it's messed up.
yeah, they're going to have
Well,
good taste, though, when they grow
Isn't
up.
one of his... Yeah, isn't one of his kids 7?
And psychological
I think-
issues in
I think
addition
they're
to
like
good
11
taste.
and 14 or something.
Oh, yeah.
14's
Okay.
acceptable. 11's pushing it. That's
I was like,
pretty dark.
An 11-year-old can beat this. I really have to step up my game, man.
If anything, you need to get to that ending because the ending is incredible. It makes everything worth
Yeah.
it.
I think it's the best story told in a game so far I've ever been a part of.
I might be
Wow.
with you. You've been a part of it. You were part of the development.
I felt like I was a part of it. It was that good.
It's so good. It makes you feel like you created it.
Yeah, the ending is just the icing on the cake. It's brilliant, perfectly elevates.
And here's what it is. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, the ending is great. My brother played it and he got to a certain point and I went, wait, keep going. Oh, it's just you were so close to the end. You need to finish it. I don't know. Seriously, you need to finish it. And he finished it and went, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I was burnt out on the combat by then, but man, when I got to the ending, I'm like, okay, that was worth it.
Yeah.
All the suffering that I went through was worth it.
Yeah, again, we won't say anything Elle because we don't want to spoil anything for you.
Yari.
Or anyone else that's listening.
Here now, it's been a year plus. I think, do you know what, with spoilers, I think if it's been more than 2 years, you're allowed to spoil it, for sure. I think that's definitely, and then I
it's
think
been less
between
than a
1
year.
and 2.
Or
Has
coming
it
up.
been less than a
It's
year?
been coming up on a year. I think I got.
Alright, then, fair enough, you
Yeah.
won't spoil anything. Okay, yeah, that's what I've been up to. We're going to move on to some really... It's meant to be the post-E3 slump. There's always something happening in gaming.
People
Especially something that got me really excited that came out today. The official trailer for the Heavenly Sword movie came out.
knew. No, I have not watched this.
It's an action, it's like animated, it's an action, it's telling the story of the Heavenly Sword, and many of the characters from the game are in it. It comes out in Blu-ray and DVD September 2nd, which is like, whoa, that came out of nowhere.
Kind of.
And I'm hoping that this might lead to a Heavenly Sword 2.
Is Andy Serkis involved?
Nope.
Well, I've lost a little bit of interest. I've lost
Yeah,
all interest. I never played Heavenly Swords.
Never.
I didn't
Did
have
you,
a
Al?
PS3 when it was out, and by the time I finally got one, I forgot its existence.
Oh, did you play it, Al?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you missed out.
I
It was
know.
because I remember back when you'd get magazines and they'd have a game of the month thing and it'd be on the front cover, like Game Informer, but they don't come to Ireland, or they might, I don't know. But either way, it was this big cover sheet and it was explaining the combat, and like, this is like God of War but with a woman and no blocking. This could be really cool. And I played it and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I played through it again on harder difficulty, and I thought it was a really good game.
Did they add
I was like,
trophies?
yeah. No, this is before trophies
Yeah,
existed.
because they went back and added trophies to some of the bigger games. I was wondering if they did for that one.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe, but I thought I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was hoping that they'd get a sequel, but never happened. Which is kind of strange that now it came out in 2007, I believe. So almost 7 years later, or exactly 7 years later, they decide, hey, here's the movie.
Yeah, I guess the main problem I had with it, because recalling, I am thinking that my friend had it, and I did play it briefly. The part where you had to guide the sword, anything that you have to do with the 6-axis controller is kind of a nightmare. And that was back when they were really pushing that, as if like, oh, look, it's just like the Wii, guys, we can do it too. And it just never worked. Like, I played Heavy Rain, and a lot of that just was so freaking awful.
You can turn off the 6-axis for Heavy Rain, can't you?
I don't know if you can now, but, well, maybe you could back then and I didn't know it, but I played through that game with the 6-axis support.
I don't remember using the 6-axis for Heavy Rain at all.
It was god-awful.
Yeah, I
So
don't
I tried to
remember
get-
using it.
Well, maybe I'm
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, do you remember that game Lair that came out?
Yep.
And it was like, here, this is the reason for a 6-axis. Control your dragon by only using the 6-axis. And then the game was out about a month, and they released a patch so you could use the analog stick. Because nobody liked the 6-axis.
You know 6-axis was a colossal failure when literally no games use it anymore. I don't even think, like you said, The Last of Us, that's a huge game. It's a Sony exclusive. There's no reason it couldn't have it. It doesn't have it.
I think the same was going to happen with the PS4 touchpad.
Yeah, it's just like innovation for innovation's sake. Sometimes it's like, but it was fine. Like, it was fine, you guys. This isn't easier to do. This is just harder and more weird and clunky and bad.
That's it, yeah. I'm using the touchpad for Infamous. It was, feels strange. This does not make anything easier. Doesn't make anything more responsive. This just stops everything and makes me do something alien.
Well, a lot of games are companies rather, relying on hardware to innovate rather than software, when it should be the other way around. It should be the games should be innovative, not the way you control them.
Yes.
Like the Wii U gamepad comes out, and it's like, oh, well, now you can do all this crazy stuff. What games support that? Nothing.
Yeah, and then here's the thing. They say, oh, look at all the crazy stuff you can do. And then the developers are saying, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Why did you make something for us that we don't even need?
This
We
costs
wanna be
extra
di-
money, and we want to put it on other platforms. If we support this thing, we can't do that. So could you get rid of that? And then Mario Kart 8 has, on the Wii U, the only thing the screen is a horn. You just touch it, it beeps. That's
I saw
literally
that,
it.
yeah. That's all they could come up
Fantastic.
with. They're a big first-party game. All they could come up with was, it's a horn.
They could have put the map on there. They could have put items on there. No, just the horn.
Yeah,
You
use
honk
the
it.
horn. Horn. Yeah. In more fun things, Cliff Bleszinski is back.
Cliffy B.
Cliffy B, one of the true celebrities in gaming, is back after coming out of retirement. He started up a new studio called Boss Key Games, and he's making a free-to-play sci-fi PC arena shooter called Blue Streak, which is set for release in 2015. He's back.
I have very little interest in this.
But he also was involved in Unreal Tournament, and Unreal Tournament was fun. Those were good games.
It was
I have
fun.
high hopes.
I feel like the world has evolved since those games came out, though.
I think it could be good. It could be quite entertaining. It could be good.
Yeah, I'll check it out, definitely, especially since it's free to play. There's no reason not to.
Free to play, perfect. Yeah.
That's another thing that worries me about it, though. It's free to play.
Free to play.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I have no problem with the way, let's say, like Dota 2 handles free to play, but there are games out there that it's like, oh, buy a certain gun for 7 days for real money.
But what was a game came out recently that did free to play really well. I think it's called Loadout.
Oh, Loadout, yeah. That's not bad.
Good.
I checked that out. It's all right. It's hard because they want people to spend money as often as they can, and the best way to make that is like, oh, you'll be more powerful if you spend us or give us money. We will give you this gun that makes you better than everybody else who hasn't.
So long as the way of monetizing free to play doesn't involve changing the gameplay or making other players overpowered, I don't mind. Like Team Fortress and their bloody hat business, that's fine. As long as it doesn't affect gameplay, I don't mind.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Dota 2 is the same way. You can only buy cosmetic stuff. You can't buy stuff that makes you more powerful or level faster or whatever.
Yeah, you can't buy your way to level 70 or something.
If you want to buy a cool skin for your character or a voice pack or whatever, you can get the Bastion announcer. Go ahead, give us money.
Oh God, yes. I want him to narrate my life.
I did until I played Transistor.
I haven't played Transistor. That yet.
You should. It's on our account. You'll be able to access it pretty soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be thrilled when you see the game list. You'll be like, oh my gosh, too much, not enough time.
And I hope you do like that voice because you're going to be hearing a lot of it.
Who, the sword? The Transistor voice?
Oh yeah.
Did you play Bastion?
I played it a little bit, and I don't know. Puzzles are so hard. Like, I'm not a smart person. I'm the first to admit that, and sometimes I just can't deal with it. Like,
there weren't puzzles. It was an
action
I
don't
RPG.
think there were any puzzles. Are you thinking of something else?
Oh no, I totally am. Everybody, just ignore me. Sorry. No, Best. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of Braid. I got confused.
That's they're vastly different games.
It's my good first impression, guys. Yep. No, okay, I have not played Bastion.
You are officially branded as the person that got those games mixed up. I hope you were prepared.
Bastion and Braid.
Yeah, I'm already done. My time here is over.
No, Bastion. I did prefer Bastion over Transistor. I think I preferred the bright, colourful nature. I prefer the setting. I prefer the narrator's voice was more deep, and in Transistor it's kind of distorted slightly. But it's the Transistor's story is better than Bastion's story in terms of depth and layers. I missed a lot in Transistor's story my first time through. It was almost until I went back and I played and I read all the little text parts. I tried to understand what was actually happening. And you can go onto forums and people are still theorizing about the meaning of Transistor's story.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I agree there's a lot of depth. I just think that the gameplay has issues, don't get me wrong. It's interesting, but it does have problems. It's starting to rain. Ooh. Sorry, ADD. Anyway, it just I think it's interesting that you have to, like, the skills give you backstory. I think that's really interesting.
And you've got to put them in different slots to get more backstory.
I thought that was really interesting. Especially, it encourages you to use different skills. I didn't have the same build the entire time because I wanted to unlock all that stuff. And I thought that was really cool. The thing is, though, is that there was a lot of... They worried more about the backstory than they did the regular plot. Because the main plot, I felt like, was lost on me until I went online and got it explained to me. Like, I could tell you a decent amount about the world, but in terms of what is actually happening, I don't know why I'm going after these guys. I have a basic idea. Like they stole my voice? I don't know.
Yeah, it's you just wake up and here you are, you're in the midst of
like
it.
there's no opening cutscene.
They did the same thing with Bastion for a little bit as well. It's like, boom, you're there, go.
And I think the reason it works in Bastion is because there is someone telling you the story and filling in the gaps for you, whereas the narrator in Transistor is part of the world, so he can't tell you what he doesn't know.
Yeah, they kind of say it's up to you to figure it out. But I did find the gameplay a little bit repetitive towards the end.
Yeah.
I just said, I found a certain combination, and I went, this kills everyone in 2 shots.
Yep.
Or 1 turn, or whatever it is. I went, that's that, and boom, just... As in towards the end, and also the final battle,
Yep.
which I won't say anything spoilery, but the final battle is incredible.
Yeah,
I wish
I
there were
agree.
more like it in the game.
Well, that's another problem I have. I just think the enemy encounters are kind of boring. Like, there isn't a lot of variety there. They change it up a little bit. Like, they add an attribute to the enemies that you're already facing. You're like, oh, well, now they do this. Like, well, that's kind of boring. Like, I don't know. It was alright.
It's a good game. It's a very good game. I'd recommend it.
Yeah, especially for free, Elle. If you can't get on there, just...
Oh, definitely. I've been meaning to check it out, and now it's like, oh, why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. Another person, one of the celebrities in gaming, Mr. Ken Levine, actually recently tweeted about Bioshock for the Vita, saying that if it was up to him, he would still make it. But due to other circumstances, he can't anymore.
Yeah.
Which... This, actually, Bioshock was meant to come to the Vita. It was announced way back in 2011.
Like an eternity ago, yeah.
2011 they announced, oh, right, we're working on this, we're going to get onto the Vita. And that could have been, it could have really helped the Vita, because the Vita's not doing well at the moment. Nope. That could have been a big turning point. That Bioshock can go on it, wow, all these other games can go on it and whatnot, but do either of you own a Vita?
I do not.
I don't.
No, I don't either, and I don't see any reason to get one.
The only reason I would ever consider it now is if I had a PS4, which I also don't have. So,
for remote play?
Yeah. And even then, I think the big issue... Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that one of my friends has the Vita and he used it for remote play. He played Transistor in bed. He played the entire game in bed on his Vita.
Yeah.
Just every single night before going to bed. And that's probably the only thing that I would get it for is remote play. But if I'm that lazy, there you go.
I'd love to play games in bed, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh ho! Are you inviting me, Randy? Is this an invite, Randy?
Yeah, everybody's invited.
Sweet.
Aww,
play with my Wii. That joke hasn't been done a million times.
I hope you're gonna share, because if you're just the... No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, I think the major problem I have with the Vita is that they're kind of just watered down console games that aren't as good as console games.
Yeah.
Like the Uncharted game they put on there. Granted, I haven't played it, but from what I've seen of the Uncharted game that's on there, it's just kind of like a less good version of Uncharted.
Yeah, there's a load of cool tech for the Vita, but there's not many games I see that utilize it to its full potential and make me go, whoa, that is one of a kind. Yeah. I need it.
There's like a few games that are coming out for the Vita that, you know, if you have like a niche audience, I would probably get them, but it's like not enough to buy a Vita. Like a lot of my friends have it and they play, you know, like the new like wacky Japanese games coming out, like Danganronpa and stuff like that. Like that's the reason you would probably get a Vita, because it's like they're keeping certain games hostage almost. Like, I want to play this, but I would only get the system to play this one game. I wouldn't buy it because I want a Vita so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like every console lives and dies on the games they have in terms of, can I get this anywhere else? If the answer is no, then that's when you got a sale, right? Like if it's a big game that you have to play that you cannot get anywhere else, that's when people go out and buy it. That's why I think, for me, like the Vita doesn't have that. Every game that the Vita has is either like a crappy port of an existing game that's already on something else, or an indie game that's on PC. So why would someone go out and buy a Vita? Like, I'm not sure what the price is at this point. They dropped it. It's like $250, $200. You don't know, Adam, because it's different for you, but
yeah, it's that strange thing, that never-ending circle, where is that the Vita needs its own exclusive games, but games won't be made exclusively for the Vita unless it sells enough. But it's not going to sell enough unless it has exclusive games.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen anymore anyway, because they're piggybacking off of the PS4. Now every game that they have has to have a PS4 version because of that. Yeah. And that doesn't do it any favors, because why? Like, I don't care about playing Sly Cooper on the go. I'll play it when I get home. So why would I put it on my Vita? And by doing that, all they're doing is like, okay, well, we can't utilize the rear touch, which is a stupid idea anyway. But we can't utilize the rear touch. We can't really do what this system is capable of because we need to think about putting it on the PS3. We need to think about putting it on the PS4. And until they... Well, I mean, it's too late now, but I guess if they hadn't had done that, then they could worry about getting exclusive games out on the PS Vita. And just too many PSs.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's, I don't know, will Sony did the PSP and now this, will they do another one?
I think they're done after this, in terms of handhelds.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Although the 3DS is killing it.
Yeah, because there are games on the 3DS that you cannot play anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a coincidence.
Yes, indeed. Alright. Some really cool news for Far Cry 4. Well, not really cool. It's just kind of nice to know. Game Informer had an interview with Alex Hutchinson, who said that Far Cry 4, the world map is going to be the exact same size. Well, not the exact same, more or less the same size of Far Cry 3. But due to the fact that it's mountainous and whatnot, his exact quote is whatnot, it's going to be a lot more dense, which is kind of nice to hear. They're utilising all that tech.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm part of me didn't really like the side stuff in basically any Ubisoft game, but especially Far Cry 3. I hate after I climb 2 or 3 towers, I'm like, all right, I'm done with the climbing of the towers. After I cleared out 2 or 3 bases, I'm like, all right, I don't want to clear any bases anymore. After I hunted animals, all right. Like, the side stuff isn't very interesting. And I think the bigger the map, the more side stuff there is, and yeah.
Yeah. Did you play Far Cry 3, Elle?
I did. I'm going to actually Google it and make sure I'm talking about the right one this time.
No, I played Far Cry 1.
That's Braid.
It's Braid.
It's Braid! No, I think I played Far Cry 2, not Far Cry 3. Yeah, the one that had tigers in it. I played that one.
That was 3.
A good game. Oh, yeah. Okay, then fucking, yeah. Me going all over the place. I mean, I like
the part where you
big...
turn back time and, you know.
I mean, it's the same kind of thing. Like, at first, a big open world is very exciting and like, oh, look, I can go anywhere I want. And then after a while, you're just like, oh, I guess I could go anywhere I want, but I don't really want to. I don't want to go all the way over there. Like, what is the point? Why would I want to do this? I have no reason to do this. Like, I guess I could climb to the top of, like a crow's nest and shoot a tiger, but why would I do that? Why?
Yeah, an open world game lives and dies by that thing. Oh, I could just forget all missions. The world is fun enough. And unless the world is fun enough, then you can't really build off there.
Yeah.
I feel like Ubisoft has that problem. Every open world game they have is... Freaking Watch Dogs has towers you have to climb. It's so stupid. Like, what is it about this stupid tower climbing thing?
Yeah. One of the best games I think one of the best open world games is Just Cause 2.
Yeah.
I did.
You don't even have to touch the story in that game.
I've spent about 20 hours in it. I've done about 2 missions. I've done nothing else but just drive around the island, use my parachute, hijack planes, fly through the place. I found a secret island, which I then Googled and I found out that it's actually a replica of the island from Lost. It's got that's like a beautiful open world.
You can go anywhere. It looks really nice. The attaching yourself to stuff is brilliant.
I think the most important thing about an open world game, I mean, this is just my opinion, but like, one of the things that I think makes an open world game better is that you can get around it in a way that is exciting. You know what I mean?
I agree completely.
Like, if you could have a millennial huge amount of space, huge amount of mountains or cityscape or, like plains or whatever. But if you have to walk across them or if you have to just like kind of drudge your way through, it's kind of like, Skyrim. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care to get over there. Like, that's why other games are so much better. Like, like you could fly. You could fly there. You could fly with your bloody hands in certain games. It's like, that's amazing. But other games, it's just like, if you have more fun, like you want to run up the sides of buildings and do flips off of them, but in other times it's just like, oh, I guess I have to drive there. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I think Saints Row 4 did that really well, and because you can
Saints Row 4 from the beginning. Yeah, you're just a superhero. Brilliant. Go for it. Do whatever you want.
And I think that game personally has a great campaign as well. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah. It's like it's entertaining, and that's what games are supposed to be. I mean,
I
all
actually-
this, like, realism for the sake of realism. Like, I understand that some people might like it, but at the same time, it's like I have to enjoy playing this a little bit at least.
And I actually collected everything in Saints Row 4 because I just liked flying around and jumping and stuff around. Just that part of it was fun to me, so I'd collect those stupid orbs that were everywhere.
Yeah.
I think you died.
I'm glad you brought up Prototype. Is that I'm pretty sure in Prototype you can sprint on the sidewalks and absorb people almost, just smash them into bits.
Oh, it's so good.
As in Prototype for all its faults, the way you could move around that place was fantastic.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's just so seamless. You know, you could be walking, I guess, if you really wanted to, but then you could be like, nah, and just sprint and fly off the ground and, like, electrocute people, and it's like, oh, this is so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I did like the way what they did with going back to Far Cry, where they announced it at E3 and went, yeah, boom, out November. I always like when they do that. I can't stand when the game is announced and they say, oh yeah, 6 months, not even 6 months, it's like 4 months later, it's coming out, here it is.
Yeah.
Just
They just do a mic drop, boom, like walk off stage. Everybody's like, oh my god!
Oh, exactly. There's a couple of last things I want to touch on. This is kind of a sadder note, is the fact that Crytek UK have basically had people stop turning up to work after they've handed in numerous grievance letters about pay.
Oh no.
Well, that's not good.
They just decided to stop working. They're currently developing Homefront Revolution, and employees just said, we're not getting paid, and we're not getting paid enough, or there's been disagreements, and they just stopped showing up to work.
As they should. If they're not getting paid, why would they go to work? Said the guy that's not getting paid to work.
Yeah, who's reviewing a 2-week-long game for the love of it.
Wait, we're not getting paid? Are you serious? I just leave.
F this. Let's stop this thing right now.
Yeah, but I always thought of Crytek of this really stable company because of the Crysis series and the Crytek engine. I thought, wow, they must be very much well off. And Rise came out, which did okay. I didn't realise that. It's very strange.
Oh, they kind of got a little overambitious. I don't think Crysis did fine, but did it do enough to... They were taking on multiple projects, and they picked up stuff from the like Homefront. They just got a ton of stuff going on, so like maybe they just couldn't manage it.
Yeah, it might be just overextending themselves, being too ambitious. Because yeah, they got a UK studio, they got one in Frankfurt, one in Budapest, one in Kiev, one in the States, one in the UK. Crytek Black Sea? Bloody hell. How many branches do they have? A lot.
More than
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
17.
Yeah. 17.
17's,
Yeah.
yep. Sounds about right.
There is
good.
talks that with Homefront Revolution, Deep Silver are the publisher, and if Crytek UK can't finish it, there's talk that Deep Silver will just absorb the project and get it done themselves.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Did either of you play Homefront?
Oh,
Nope.
I didn't.
Neither did
Although
I. But I
saw
hear...
the demo. I saw the demo for Homefront Revolution, and it looks good.
Yeah. I'm curious why it's a Homefront game.
Yeah.
Cause
The first one was meant to be inspired by, was it that Bruce Willis film that was a book?
it was
Red Dawn?
Red Dawn. Oh, that wasn't Bruce Willis, though.
Was it not Bruce Willis?
No. I think it was Patrick Swayze.
Oh,
Was it?
Swayze.
Swayze.
Swayze makes me hazy.
It's about to get
might-
Swayze crazy up in here.
Oh, it was, yeah. He's dead now, isn't he?
Yeah,
he is.
prostate cancer, I think.
Eek. Unfortunate. But yeah, as in, apparently the story is meant to be quite good in Homefront to a certain point. The first 2 hours meant to be really good, but then it goes a little bit iffy from there. But yeah, it's always sad to hear when studios are struggling and things aren't going according to plan. But on a lighter note, because I'm not going to end the podcast on a sad note about people not showing up to work.
I was
on a happy note.
I was scared. I was gonna go cut myself after this one.
See you next week, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, you're all fired. Bye.
Yeah. Somebody managed to compile a list of all the games coming out in October.
Too many.
And sweet Jesus, this is too many.
There are too many.
So I'm gonna run it down. This all happens in the space of 25 days.
Okay.
October 3rd, Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS.
Okay.
That's a big time seller.
Yep.
Yeah.
October 5th, Skylanders Trap Team.
Okay.
Certain audience, that's a big deal. October 7th is just when they decide, feck it, throw everything up. On the exact same day, Alien Isolation, Dragon Age Inquisition, Drive Club, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, NBA 2K15, NBA Live 15 all come out on the exact same day.
Oh,
well,
no.
that's a shame. Because I don't...
Why? Why? Do they not talk to each other?
Hey, guys. Hey, we're making Shadow of Mordor over here. What are you doing with Dragon Age?
Yeah, that seems like they're competing for the same audience.
You think
Drive Club, that's a completely different audience. They could throw anywhere they want. But Dragon Age and Middle Earth kind of like, they're both going for a similar audience.
think you can push that a couple
Yeah.
weeks? No? Please?
And NBA 2K15 and NBA Live the exact same day. Well, they kind of... It's whoever gets out first, really, for that type of thing.
Not
Yeah.
anymore. NBA Live has been a disaster for the past... They didn't even have NBA Live for like 2 straight years, and then the most recent one was garbage. So their 2K is probably safe.
Alright, that's a madness. I hope Alien Isolation doesn't get lost, because that game has so
looks
much
great.
potential. Yeah. So that's October 7th. October 14th, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, and Raven's Cry.
Wow.
What's Raven's Cry?
I don't know. Or is that... I don't know. But never mind. Moving on to October 21st. Because there's still more. Randy, if you're still reviewing everything in October, you're fucked, dude. You're absolutely ruined.
Maybe I'll be
October
paid by
21st. Yeah, October 21st. Battlefield Hardline, Evolve, Fantasia Music Evolved, Just Dance 2015, and The Evil Within.
then. Evolved.
Evolve.
There's 2 Evolves in there.
Yeah, Evolve and Fantasia Music Evolved.
So, wait, does that mean Fantasia's better because there are more words?
It might mean that, yeah, that might be the best one. Actually, the best game according to that then would be Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, because that's 5 words.
Yep.
Well, maybe 4. But yeah, that's like, good grief. Evil Within, I'm hoping... I've seen some of it, and I'm hoping it's not as one-dimensional as it looks.
I'm with you. I would love another Resident Evil style game. I need it. An old Resident Evil, not Resident Evil 6.
You need Resident Evil 4.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, you need more of that.
I'd take even Resident Evil 2. Just give me something.
Code Veronica was good.
Code Veronica was good.
I enjoyed it. Okay, and then October 28th. Sorry, no, I skipped a date. October 24th. A mere 3 days after that flambastery. Civilization Beyond Earth and Fantasy Life. Civilization is going to be huge.
Beyond
That's gonna be-
Earth.
That
It's
looks
gonna be, like,
great.
in space. Civilization
Yes.
in space.
Yes, it is.
Holy shit.
Exactly what that is. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the tagline. I went, Beyond Earths. I always wanted to get in Civilization, and this might be the one.
I'm with you. Except for the
Yeah.
part where I'm going to be playing every game ever.
And then rounding the month out, October 28th, a mere 25 days after the first game of October comes out, we have Assassin's Creed Unity, WWE 2K15, Lords of the Fallen, and Sunset Overdrive.
Oh my god.
Is anyone here a wrestling fan?
I wouldn't play the games. I don't think... I watch a pay-per-view from now and again. Watch WrestleMania for sure.
Did you watch this year's WrestleMania?
Yes, that was fun.
It was.
It was a lot of fun. One of the better ones. Except for the Lesnar Undertaker match. That was just
Oh
shocking.
man, that was... I have not felt shock in anything ever in my life as much as I did that moment.
No, it doesn't matter that he lost. It was the fact that the match was shite because Undertaker, he got a concussion in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, the match was awful, but the fact that he lost anyway was kind of ridiculous. Just
no, he probably won't. He's not going to do any more matches anyway. It's best they lose on the way out.
But lose to
that's
Brock Lesnar, who comes back.
conversation for a different day.
This is the wrestling
Go all day.
podcast now.
Brock Lesnar's a beast. He can kick anyone's ass. But
4 days out of the year.
Yeah, and but that month you just like some of the big names. You got Super Smash Bros, Alien Isolation, Dragon Age Inquisition, Middle Earth, Battlefield Hardline, Evolve's going to be Evil Within, Civilization, Assassin's Creed, Sunset Overdrive, Lords. This is too much.
Yeah, with the exception of like the sports games and racing games, I kind of want to play every single thing that you just said. So
Oh my word.
And that's October. But then November is kind of barren this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
I hope
think I
so
wanna
after that.
Yeah. I hope the next year is just completely empty.
Yeah.
Till Witcher 3 comes out.
Why don't more of them release games? It's just coincidental that they all got delayed or they all got rescheduled and just happened to all fall in the exact same month. Would any of them not think, you know what? Let's just delay, like something like maybe Alien Isolation or Dragon Age Inquisition or any of them, doesn't even matter. What if they just said, you know what, we'll push it back 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll come out in November.
November's kind of empty, I think. So at least it's not nearly as crowded as October. So I would think people would. I think the theory is that November is usually the crowded month. So they're like, oh, we're gonna get ahead of the curve this time. We're gonna get release in October. But then everybody decided to do that, and now everyone is out in October.
Yeah, if I was any of them, I'd just delay it a couple of weeks.
But then everyone does that, and then we have a different problem.
Then
the same problem, just in a different month.
Yeah. Oh my word, that is too many games.
I agree. But I'm excited.
It's like Christmas in October. It's gonna be great.
That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be brilliant. What you're more or less pick? You want to play them all, Randy? Do you?
Evolve, you said, or them all?
Them all.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll probably pick and choose.
Yeah.
But I'm interested, at the very least. I have a passing interest in everything you said, except the sports games.
Yeah, and yourself, Elle?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously really excited about Inquisition. I've been waiting for, years for that one. Hopefully to clean up the mess that was Dragon Age 2. But it's gonna be exciting. I'm looking forward to at least like checking in on everything. I'm not really into sports games that much, but besides like, I don't know, Harry Potter, fucking Quidditch or whatever. But
that
like
doesn't count.
It counts for me.
Listen, Randy, people do actually play that in real life, so technically it is a sport. If golf is categorized as a sport, so is Quidditch.
I hung up my broom a long time ago, so that
involves more exercise than golf, so technically, yes, it's a sport.
It's the best sports game because you cannot lose.
How do people play it in real life? Explain to me how this works.
Have you not seen the film? It's exactly like that, except they can't fly.
Well, the part where they fly is the important part, though. You take that out, and then you're just playing weird hockey.
I think it'd be cool if they were like on roller skates or something. That would be fun.
Here I am picturing like people on ropes or something swinging around with brooms between their legs, which the brooms would serve no purpose at that point. But
yeah,
you gotta have the broom.
Even if it's just for show, you have to just hold it there. It has to be there in some way.
I mean, no one else needs to be in robes either, but here we are.
I'm in a robe. I don't know about you guys.
Is there a snitch?
There is a snitch, yeah.
What is it? Is it a dog?
I don't know how it works.
A chicken?
I don't know exactly how
catch
the rules
the chicken.
Work.
It's a squirrel.
Throw a Yorkie on the field, like running around.
Well, they have to paint it gold too and give it wings.
It's a squirrel. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. My word. So you're saying other than sports games, Dragon Age Inquisition, and was there any others?
That was the one that stood out the most to me, but I'm excited about like seeing how everything goes. I don't think I'm gonna check out Mordor. I feel bad, but I mean, really, what's the point? Like, just putting them so close together is like, it's like when you go to a party and there's two people and they're like, yeah, this is a gift from both of us, and then one person is like, yeah, but I bought it, and the other person's like, shh, it's okay. Like, they're both fantasy, it's fine, don't worry.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be magnificent. It's going to be brilliant, and we cannot wait. And with that, we call a conclusion to our podcast.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm excited that my internet sort of held out. Kind of.
Yeah, we did
a couple
good.
times dropped it.
You only got dropped 3 times, Randy.
3 times in, an hour and a half? That's pretty good.
Not too shabby.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. You can find us at onlysp.com, and you can follow us on Twitter at just go to the site. All the social links are there. You'll find them. You're a smart person.
That's laziness.
I trust you to find the links. I trust you. And we're probably going to reschedule the podcast, and it'll probably go up on Mondays from now on. We'll let you know either way. And thanks to Elle and Randy for joining me. They were a lot of fun to hang out with.
Yeah, thanks. It was great.
Thank you.
Lovely. And we'll see you all next week.
Bye.